Welcome, welcome, everybody. We're just getting started. Let us know where you're tuning in from and go ahead and feel free to answer the question that's in the chat. I was made for more and I will rise above blank to make my dreams a reality. I'm going to answer the question for me. I was made for more and I will rise above mediocrity to make my dreams a reality. I was made for more and I will rise above hesitation to make my dreams a reality. I could keep going. These are all things we're going to push past this year because we have so much more in us and we need to look at these things head on and still keep going, moving forward. And so that's what this is about today. Thank you for those who have been responding to the question and those that will respond later.
I was made for more, and I will rise above. I'm with my daughter, every and anything and anybody.
Ooh.
Anything and anybody that would seek to get in my way. Intentionally or unintentionally doesn't matter. Good intentions or bad intentions doesn't matter. If you're getting in my way, you're getting in my way and you got to be moved or run over. The strength of information is born in using it. Hearing something and learning something for the sake of learning it does nothing for you. The power comes in using the information or putting it to use. Um, Being trained. I remember a teacher said this to me a long time ago, and though it's common sense at the moment, it wasn't common. I have one of my coin sayings is common sense is only common to those who it's common to. And so you can't look at anything as common sense until you put it into practice or at least have been exposed to it commonly. And he gave this example when I was a young man in college. And he said, people think that by hearing or learning something, it makes you better. And he said, it doesn't. Practice does. And the example he gave was you take a room full of kids and you put the football plays up on the blackboard and you show them all the plays and all the finesse and how it works in the front and the back, and they learn everything they need to learn. And then you take and you sit them out on the field with a bunch of kids and them and run into each other, bump, bruised, bled hard, recalibrated, got back up again. And you take them classroom kids and you march them out there and they're going to get their behind stomped into the ground. Because even though they may not have learned all the practical, they've, through experience, felt the real ups and downs and the pains of it. So people that want to be successful just by sitting in class or going to this seminar and going to that seminar and taking this lesson and listen, go ahead, have fun with that. Excuse me a minute, I want to switch my screens. There you go. Have fun with that, But the end result of that is you ain't gonna get any real experience from it or become any better because of it if you're not putting yourself in a place to use what you're learning. Even if you're just using it in conversation, I say start to put it to work. If you put it to work, it's going to work for you, and there's no way around it. You can't escape it. You're going to get better at it. You're going to become seasoned at it, and the mistakes that you have to experience going through it, that's going to make you better. And a lot of people, a lot of us, we don't like mistakes. We don't. I don't want to do it. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail again. I don't want to make that same mistake. Well, that's how you get better. Practice means keep doing it till the mistakes decrease and the experience and expertise increase. That's how it works. There's no way to get better without that. There's no way to get better without being willing to make a mistake again and again and again until you get it right.
He
Yeah,
kept
I
getting
think it's
knocked.
day after tomorrow, something like that. It's
Oh.
I absolutely love that movie because after seeing that, to give you a short synopsis of the movie, like he would he's going on this journey to go to get to the end of his journey or whatever, but in the middle, something would happen to him and he would get hurt or something, and it's like he would kind of like die as if he was in a video game or whatever, and wake up and start all over again. But he started over like maybe I don't know, maybe 50 times. But
more
every
than
time
that.
maybe it was more than that.
It was more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. What that showed me, every time he started over, he got better and he got better and he got better and he got better. He was more focused because he was doing the same things over and over again he was trying to get to his end point. So that just encouraged me when I make a mistake and here I am again, starting again. It's okay. You can gather up all the information that you already got, apply it, and you should be better when you're doing it now.
Okay, so Devon just corrected us in the chat and said it's not day after tomorrow. What is it then? It's Tom Cruise is a Netflix movie, um, and I can look it up while you're talking. But the movie is they had to fight this alien um, race, and this alien race kept destroying him. But something happened. He destroyed this thing called the Alpha, and its blood got on him, and it just made him every time he died start over again and over again. And nobody else was starting over, so he had to try to convince everybody that he knew what the outcome was going to be, and nobody still was believing him. But as time went on, he came to the place that he knew everything. No, it's not War of Worlds. I don't think that's the title of it. Um, but anyway, continue telling your story. I'm gonna look it up just to get the name right. Since Devon is insistent, and I appreciate it on correcting me, I'm gonna find the name of it.
Yeah.
Continue.
It was just very touching, very touching, and his laser focus to the point where he's walking the same path, going the same journey, and he will see like if he see like Mr. John coming down the road, he's like, "Hi, Mr. John. Yeah, okay, I know you. You have a bagel and you have a coffee. Okay, because he already went down that road, but he's repeating the same things, and he's seeing the same people, and then they're saying, "How did he know I had a bagel and a coffee or whatever?" But it just was like, okay, I've been here before. I did this. I know how this goes, and now I know what to do. So I'm
Mm,
coming here to win. And so that, but the
love that.
beauty, in the end, he did win, and he won because he had the attitude. Okay, I'm starting again, and I'm not gonna beat myself up because I made a mistake, and I'm here for the 89th time or whatever it is. And literally, the movie kept going back to the beginning, and that's why I didn't understand why the movie was doing that, but at the end I got it. Like, oh, okay, it's starting over. But by the end, he was a beast, and he just like killed all the aliens, and he got to the end destination. And
Right.
he made better choices because he was like,
Mm.
that's not gonna work. I'm not doing that again. I'm not falling in the same place again because I did that already, and I know it doesn't work.
Ooh, he
So
made better choices. Edge of Tomorrow is what they're saying in the chat.
Yes, that sounds like it.
Okay. No, but that's a good point. I've heard you say it, Mr. Brown, and I hear it in different other successful folks conversations. Like, failure is a part of the process, and as you said, we don't like to fail, but we don't realize that that is a part of the process. Like, I think I personally had to just come to terms with, okay, you may not get everything right, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? And sometimes that is a way to delay from even moving forward, because you're like, everything has to be perfect, it has to be just like this, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Just start. Like we learned here, just start somewhere, just start from the beginning. Literally start from the beginning. So yeah, it is all now coming together, and again, it comes together as you, like we learned, moving forward. um so thank you for that contribution. And I just want to read what's in the chat, if Mr. Brown is okay with that. um Devon said, I was made for more and I will rise above doubts, worries, failures to make my dream a reality. Yes, yes, yes. Hashtag diamond shine. Practice makes precision. Yes, sir. Definitely put in the work. And then we talked about the movie, and Talima saying, my feelings about me making mistakes, it'll buff out. It always buffs out. I love that. Mm, it always buffs out. Interesting. Hmm. Okay.
I'm back. My grandkids
Wonderful.
decided to call me on FaceTime, and so I said to him, "I'm live right now," and he started yelling into the mic because he knew I was muted. Subscribe to my channel and yelling out the name of his channel. I said, "Nobody's hearing you. It's not working."
That is hilarious. Well, that's a good place to let everybody know to like this video. Definitely share because this conversation
Comment,
is
comment on the video. I
yes,
don't mean now.
and
I'm talking about
comment.
when it posts. Comment.
Right.
Yes. Edge of
And
tomorrow.
make sure you're subscribed. Edge of tomorrow. Yep. And make sure everybody is subscribed. Hit that bell for the notification so you know when we're going live. This conversation is going really great. But it's good to be able to reflect and see how everything we're learning is coming together. Again, as you move forward, not while you're sitting and passively waiting, um, but putting what you've learned into action. So,
So let's get to work.
yes, sir.
Let's get to work. Okay, so we have our words of the week. Um, I'm going to start going live more than one time a week. I keep getting told I need to go live more than one time a week. I want to say to all of you guys who are on, listening, and come regularly to the live, I love and appreciate you. You guys make me possible. Bring people with you, not with you in the same room. Make sure they get on. Call them, drag them, shame them, guilt them. No, I'm just kidding. But then not. But anyway, we need to, we'll get them numbers up. We'll keep growing. Man, what a phenomenal um, couple of weeks it's been. You know, being back out here in Florida, watching what's happening around me. So I woke up. What was it? Sunday morning or Monday morning to the full moon. I don't remember what it was.
It was such.
Sunday morning. I woke up 6 o'clock, 6:30 or whatever in the morning to a full moon, and I kind of stayed up and was on my thing, and I'm on the couch. So Esther's got one room, Nellie's got the master bedroom, and I'm sleeping on the couch, which I'm fine with. I sleep on my couch all the time. So I'm sleeping with my face to the window. And around 8 o'clock in the morning, it's full sunlight and the full moon still in the sky. Now, that's only the second time I've seen that in my life, with my finger over 2 times. But the first time I saw it is when I was driving down from Pennsylvania, moving here for the very first time. And because Esther asked me when was that, and she happened to be with me on that trip, I pulled up my video, I pulled up some pictures, of that first full moon, and I also found the storage room where I put my stuff until they got the apartment ready, and realized, I want you to pay attention to this, Edwidge, that I came down here with enough stuff to fill the back seat of a car and maybe a trunk. A chair, a TV table, and some boxes. And I said, wow, I left and headed down here with just that. Looking at it now is just mind blowing to see how far I've come and what I've been able to accomplish just by setting out. The key to success is setting out. The key to success is getting on the road. The key to success is saying, okay, I'm gonna go, and I've been sharing this recently, I'm gonna go afraid. Fear is not the absence of doing, not the absence of feeling, it's the absence of doing. And I've learned that you overcome fear by doing. That's just a side note. I'm going to um, leave my co-host behind for a moment, and I'm going to go full screen, and we're going to get ready to get into this presentation. So, the beautiful thing, I don't like seeing this thing in the screen. It look ugly. It look ugly. That's why I tried to, why the mic was so far, I was trying to keep that out. There you go. The beautiful thing about who we are and what we're called to do is we realize who we are and we realize what our strengths are on the road to doing the thing that we're called to do. We don't find it out through exploration and in theory, but in exploration and action. And you find out, as I said earlier, what you're capable of when you actually put it to work and do it. And so, we got some words for today, and we got some slides to go through. But I just really want to just please encourage everybody, looking at where I was. I think it was March. I know. Esther, can you put it in the chat, because I sent it to you, or Nelly, March, whatever it was, 2021, on my way here with just a car full of stuff. Wow. A car full of stuff, one TV table, and a chair, this very chair I'm sitting in, to, you know, moving from one place to another and being fully furnished. I just want to encourage people that your real power is released in you moving, going forward. And that's what I'll say. I won't stay long on it. Let's get the slideshow up. Let's get ready to do this thing. Let's get ready to do this thing. Ready? Slideshow time. Story time. Here we are. We got a slideshow. Adaptability versus innovation. This, for me, I'm excited about as much as I am ready to share it. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about what it is and what it means to me. So let's talk about it. Ready? The definitions are here. Adaptability is the ability to adjust, listen close, modify, and thrive in challenging circumstances. I'm going to read that again. Adaptability is the ability to adjust, modify, and thrive in changing circumstances, environments, or challenges without losing momentum toward one's goals. Let me say it again. It's the ability to adjust. I like to use the word pivot. Lindsay said, I want to be able to grow without letting my emotions get into it. And this is powerful. For the word for you, like this word is so good for you right now, Linz. Adaptability is the ability to adjust, modify, thrive in changing environments, circumstances, or challenges without losing momentum toward that goal. Let's sit with that for 2 seconds before we go any further. So, the ability to adjust and modify, I like to use the word pivot, and thrive in changing circumstances, environments, or challenges, situations, whatever you want to call it. The ability to continue to go forward toward the goal, even if things are not going exactly the way you think they should, or seeming to be going against the flow, but you make the adaptation. Now, let me just explain that, because this is important. Most people, when they set out to do a goal, and I know I was that guy for a long time myself, you get frustrated when it's not going your way, and you're willing to give up. And I'm going to use this moment, this minute, since They Not Like Us is the biggest diss record in the world, almost one of the biggest records in the world, period. This is huge, because Mustard, who is the producer, I've been aware of Mustard for a long time. Some people never heard of Mustard before he did this record, but I've known Mustard on the beat for a long time, right? He's been around a while. and he's only like 35 years old, but he's has some accomplishments and some records under his belt. He's been around for a minute. Now, I saw Mustard on an interview, and Mustard said to a big boy who was interviewing him, I was sending Kendrick 5 records a day. He said, or 5 tracks a day. He said, I saw something, I knew I wanted to be a part of it, I knew it could be big, and I want to be in. So I was sending him 5 tracks a day. And the guy asked him for how long, and I don't remember if you know, you ever put it in the chat. I think he said 3 months or 5 months. Girls, if you're aware of it or you look it up, feel free to shout it in to the microphone. But I think he said 5 months. But he said was sending 5 tracks a day. Now I'm saying to myself, that's got to be an exaggeration. That's a lot of work. I do tracks. I know how much time it could take to do a track. There's a track, you can do a track together in 10 minutes. But I mean, 5 tracks a day, and you send it to a guy, and I need you to understand at this time, he's not sending it to Kendrick. I want to make sure you I want to make sure you understand this. He's sending this to Kendrick's people, who's vetting the tracks probably and deciding if they want to give it to him or not. So he said he's sending 5 tracks a day, and Big Boy said to him, 5 tracks a day. At no point did you say, yo, F this, man. He done rejected my tracks for weeks and months. He said, I mean, month 1, month 2, you didn't say, yo, screw this? And he said, nah. He said, how could you do that? And he said, I want you to listen close. Young 35-year-old man. He said, I have no ego. I had a goal. I had a plan. I'm going to bring you back in to kind of have a conversation with me for a second. But he said, I have no ego. I had a goal and I had a plan, and I believed something big would come out of it. And so I kept shrugging through. And then he asked him this question. Well, were you sending the tracks to anyone else? And this gentleman said, no, I was not. I was only sending my tracks to him. That's a commitment. 5 months, 5 tracks a day to someone who continues to tell you no, or continues to come back, not respond back at all, and do anything. And then when it finally clicks and the stars align, and he knew in his heart that something was going to be big if he stuck with this dude and kept pushing. And it winds up being the biggest record of his career and life, not just for him, but for Kendrick. 5 Grammys on a diss record. You know, this is unheard of for any kind of record. So here's my point. This is not a record that was even released as an album cut. This is a single. But here's my point. He decided that there was an end to this. There was a final destination. He decided, ready, that he had to adjust. I'm sure if he kept sending them tracks, he didn't keep sending them the same tracks. He had to adjust. He had to modify the way he did his tracks. He had to thrive in the changing circumstances. Maybe it was this guy he was being in touch with. Now that guy don't work for Kendrick anymore, so now you got to send your tracks to this guy. You don't know what he had to do. He had to change in the environment. He had to face these challenges without losing his momentum. 5 tracks a day. That was a goal, and he stood until he accomplished it. Co-host, jump in. This is powerful. This is big.
Oh man.
First of all, did you know this story?
No. No idea.
Did you find out how long it
No
was
idea.
he went? Was it 3 months or 5 months?
It was 6 months.
Whew. I want you to do the math. Hold up. Do the math real quick. 5 tracks a day times 30 times 6. Let me get my calculator.
Yeah, that
Let me get my calculator.
150 times 6. That's 900.
Wow. I'm telling you straight up, I would have been after maybe 2 months, I would have been, all right, it just ain't meant to be. He said, I wasn't offended. I had no ego. I had a goal. I had no ego. He's 35. I wish I was this boy, daddy, and I wish he was mine. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Listen, I had a goal, and that goal was more important to me than my ego. Well, how are you making 900 tracks and not submitting them to anybody else? I'm sure once Kendrick, passed on it, he sent them to other people. It would only make sense. But he was making these tracks specifically for this dude. You think Kendrick ain't doing more tracks with him? You think he ain't working on a whole
100%.
album with him right now? The ground they covered, you think that everybody ain't calling this boy? And let me just tell you this right now. I don't know if you know this. Heinz just did a deal with him. They released the mustard.
I
You're muted.
saw it. Yes.
Yeah. With his logo.
Oh,
With his logo.
okay.
With his mustard logo. Yes. It's a deal.
That is so dope.
Because he stayed true to what he believed the destiny was, and he said those words. I have no ego. Hi, Amanda. Come on, jump in on this.
And
That was a powerful story. Get in on the check track and
yes.
put some hearts and stuff up there.
Okay. Okay. That is dope. 5 tracks a day. That is disciplinary work ethic. Okay. Welcome, Christine. Welcome, Ruth. Um, Mr. Brown, there were a few things that you said that just stood out to me, right? Just he was able to lock in, like he locked in. He knew something and he locked in. He said he had no ego. He had a goal. And
Assignment.
to me it's like, right. He like you say often, he set his face like what? Like Flint, right?
Flint.
Is that the
That's the scripture. Like Flint told you. He said he was determined. 6 months.
That's so that's like it is so inspiring. And I know that you always tell me, I think for all of us, there are things that we set our face like flint on. And if we would just make a switch and put it in the area where it's going to benefit us the most, we would win. You know what I'm saying? We could set our face like flint to come home and watch a show or do watching something, crazy or whatever. Or for me, it was like I just wanted to, I had a goal or a dream of I wanted to be a wife and, find my husband and then God, make me into the woman of God he wanted me to be. But it's like, okay, now who am I and my purpose and my dream and my goal and my financial independence? If I could lock into that, the way I believe for other things and the way how God delivered those things to me because of my consistent faith, where would I be now? But it reminds you that it takes that kind of faith and consistency with the works behind it. It will manifest. It can't not happen. But we have that you have to lock in.
Hey,
'Cause, yeah, I've hoped for things before. I've believed for things before. I've spoken and I've travailed before the Lord, and I got up and I did the work and I studied and I've received the things that I did. So now I gotta now put it on the next phase of my life in this area of me being who He really called me to be and lock in there to get my full success and be
yeah.
the full potential. I feel like you said, Mr. Brown, for me not to become all that I am, I'm cheating myself, because I'm not my best version, and I need to present my best version of who I am.
Miss Michelle, you look like you having a moment over there, like you having a out of body experience. Talk to me.
as she was speaking, no, she said it. When you're determined and you have a goal and you are consistent and you're committed, it can't not come to pass. It can't not.
Jesus.
You are literally focused. And for us who are believers, we hear it and we go, okay, what do I need to do? I'll do my part. and I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to walk away. Frustration come go, whatever. I'm staying put because I see the goal. I see where I'm going. And I thought about the few times that I've done that in my life, and that is true. And like you said, when you don't do it, you cheat yourself. That right there.
Listen, his commitment to doing this, his commitment to staying focused to this, was more powerful than any obstacle, any pain, any frustration that he could possibly see in the natural. He saw where he was going. So we didn't even get off the first word yet. But these words are important, and that's why I said I do them, because we need to understand why these things work. They don't just work because it, like some magic happened. It works because they're designed to work. So let's go back to this to our words for the day. Let's go back. So that ability to adjust, modify, and thrive in changing circumstances, environments, toward your goals. Don't lose momentum in the process. Don't lose momentum in the process. How do you do that? So when I made a decision, it was my time and I was going to go for it. That's before I wound up here in Miami and everything. Man, I took the hits. And I'm not saying this to blame or point at other people. I'm just saying my adjustment affected other people to the way that they responded to me in a way that wasn't favorable to me, but negative to me. And I had to make a decision to go forward. I want you to listen to what I'm saying right here. I had to make this decision to go forward, even though it offended many others, and they even for a season walked away from me. And I made a decision to walk away from them as well. But I made a decision to go forward to accomplish what I believed I was called to at this season in time. My relationship is on the mend, or has mended, with 90% of the people, maybe 85, 90%. And the ones it hasn't mended with is because I'm not supposed to, and I don't want to be with them anyway. But the point is this: I had to decide to not lose momentum toward my goal. And when you make that decision, they will call you selfish, they will call you an a-hole, they will call you all kind of names. They will speak all manner of evil against you. Not because necessarily bad people, but because they don't understand how you at this season can decide to go a different way than what they're used to you doing and what they're used to that relationship being. But you have to be determined beyond just normal day-to-day anything to go forward. You have to make that determination. Successful people always say the same thing if you listen to them. Sometimes it gets boring and sometimes it sounds corny. But what do they always say? Never give up. Never give up. No matter what, I didn't give up. The same thing this young man Mustard is saying is the same thing. I just decided not to give up. It's important. It's important. Now, I want to go to the next word, but after going through this word, I almost don't want to do the next word, but it is important. Innovation is the process of creating, improving, and implementing new ideas, methods, and products or services that provide a significant value. Now, here's why I've gave these words as, or I look at these words as verses. Because adaptability is saying sticking toward your goal and not moving. Innovation is the process of creating new things. But when you're trying to build the thing that you have, you use innovation, and I would say at which that innovation should be first, because that's when you get your ideas and you come together with your product and what you're going forward to do, Nelly, and then once you do it, then you make the adaptations it takes to get it to the other side of the playing field without giving up, losing hope, or breaking your stride. See, the thing is, innovation is first because you got to create something. And you have to come up with something that may be different. So you create something new, you come up with a new idea, or if not a new idea, a new method to do an old idea. Whatever the case may be, you find a way to make something simpler or to make something useful. There's hair products out there, a million hair products. So what we have at Live Unique is not the first, but we have to have something that's a little different or a little better or just different. And that next step is to now adapt to the market and how the market changes to get you to where you need to go. I'm seeing some freezing here. Let me see what happened. Okay, no, I think I'm okay. How am I looking
Yes.
at? Edward, you're sideways all of a sudden. You're laying on the side of your head. You're literally like this. I don't know what happened to your go off screen and come back and see if it fixes you. But yeah, you're literally like you turned your phone on the side. So, nope. I don't know what happened to your video. But anyway, you're muted. So let me see. Let me see if I can fix you and get you off the screen. Okay, so find out what's going on your end. I can see you on the other screen, and once you line up on Ninja, then I can get you back. But Nelly, talk about what you just heard me talk about. The control room just went down. Are we still streaming?
Okay, so we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you now.
The whole control room just went down. We probably not even on YouTube anymore. YouTube Studio shut down.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Wait a minute. Hold on, let me see. No, it's still up, but it's showing the old stuff. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a strong stream. So it's saying it broke stream for some reason. But what's the name shut down? Ninja shut down.
But they're saying that we're still on. They can hear us.
Okay, well then we keep going then. Can they see us though?
Yes, Lindsay said I can see you and hear you.
Wow. Because that should be delay, but okay. And what about Edwidge? She gone.
We don't see Edwidge on, but
Okay, well we gotta finish what we gotta
yeah,
do.
that's the same. She can still hear us and see us.
Okay, well the show must go on, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Now
still
are they
live.
seeing us on the delay or are they seeing us? No.
Yeah, in the delay, but they can still see us. Amanda just said I can see she can see me and you, but not Edwidge.
Okay, your volume is really low right now, to me, Nelly. But that's because Ninja shut down for some reason. I don't know what happened. But we continue. So let's go to the next word in the slideshow and let's keep it moving. I mean, the next part of the slideshow. And it's very important that we understand the benefits and the strength of these words or these things that we're dealing with right now, and adaptability in terms of its benefits. Ready? Well, let's go with innovation first. So, innovation allows you, it says businesses, but I'll say you businesses to stand out in a competitive industry. Understand that. Innovation helps you stay relevant and consistent, improving your product or service. Some of that time, that product or service is just you. You can be the product or service. It encourages solution-oriented mindset. And I'm going to skip that to entrepreneurship and leadership. I'm going to focus right now on a personal side. Prevents a business or an individual from becoming obsolete in a fast-changing world. These are things that you do when they say you're rebranding yourself, when you're becoming a better person in your everyday life. Because trust me, if you're a broken person in your everyday life, it'll wind up inside of your business. and your business winds up broken. This is important to pay attention to this. It encourages strategic planning for long-term success rather than short-term fixes. And that last one is the one I want to kind of put an emphasis on right now in terms of innovation. Creating and redevelopment encourages planning for long-term success, not just having success in the moment, but long-term success, not just short-term success that just gets you through a moment and then you back in the same jam again. This is very important. So let's keep this in mind. Now, let's keep this in mind. I was reading the text that I was getting and making sure everybody's still hearing me and everything fine, correct? Okay, so I want us to start thinking of long-term success rather than the short-term fix. So let's go back to this young man's story who I brought up as a figure of my conversation. He was planning for long-term success, and he was willing to do the long-term work that it took to get to that place. It would have been nice. It would have been nice for him to send his first song and it got picked, and then what if he never get picked again? So what he did was he set up where he would establish himself forever, right? As long as he's been around, no major brand has offered him a deal. You know, Heinz is not a baby company. That company is older than him, his mama, and his probably grandmama. So this is the situation where his determination and his commitment to be what he was called to be put him in the place that he is now. I don't know if you understand this. At his age, established. He's historical right now. He's historical right now. I mean, Nelly, I want to know, you understand, I mean, the reality of that. This man is now a historical figure as a result of this one event. Nelly, are you with me? I think she's on delay now because she's not having a conversation with me. So I'm going to move on. Let's go. Are you still hearing me on here? Let me just double check. Esther, am I still live? Perfect. And everybody's going, yes, 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 yes. Okay, good. Okay, so it's working. I can see that it's still working up there. So good. Let's get with things. And let's go back to the next slide and let's bring that in and bring it home for tonight. Let's get my next slide up. We're going to go back to adaptability now, and we're going to, all other things now said and put in place. Now adaptability keeps you flexible. It helps you collaborate and diverse with people and perspectives. And listen to this, it helps you collaborate with diverse people and perspectives. And collaboration, and every great musician and artist and all that say all the time, the ability to collaborate is the key to success. People always think when they look at, say, like the Elons and the Mark Zuckerbergs and all these people, but I did a whole video about the PayPal mafia and how all these people came from that group. All these major things from LinkedIn to Facebook to all came from PayPal, which was Elon Musk, by the way. Elon Musk and I forgot the other guy's name now. I know all these people's name off the top of my head, but now their name is not hitting with me. But all these major tech companies and things that exist to this day that control the world came from that group of men who collaborated together. It was a group of them from Stanford. It wasn't just him alone. So when you see him and when you see Zuckerberg and when you see, all these different people with these different major corporations that have come out of that situation, These guys all worked together, even Gates. They all had a little, he was a part of the PayPal mafia, but he was like a forerunner, and then all the rest of them built this genius circle, you want to call it, and created all these gigantic companies that rule the tech world today. And I won't go through all the names today because I don't remember them, but I've done a video on it. But just look up PayPal Mafia and see how all of these guys work together that you see now that was standing all behind Trump, how most of them started a company together, which was PayPal, and from PayPal, they sold that to eBay, I think it was, for over $1 billion, and then each of them went their own way and started a whole new journey, but still worked together. So that ability to collaborate is huge, huge. And it says with diverse people, meaning different minds, different thoughts, not trying to find a bunch of people who think exactly like you. That's a very terrible way to do business. You have to need to find people that's minds and thought processes are better than yours. If everybody in your circle thinks like you, or everybody is beholden only to the way you think, you are en route to fail because these people are not going to push you to be better than what you are. So then, let me not stay on that one term too long, but if you have any feeling about that, put it in the comment, because that's a big statement that I just made right there. And I'm going to jump to the comments, and now I'm depending on the comments. So, okay, thank you for hearing me, and I'm glad. There's definitely a delay, but as long as you hear me, it's fine. Okay, it allows you to recognize hidden opportunities that others may overlook. This part of adaptability, Lindsay, we had this kind of conversation today, right? It allows you to recognize opportunities that other people may overlook because you can make the move and change your terrain and jump in the right lane at the right time and do the right thing. It opens the door for you to see things that other people will not and cannot see. And the key to being successful is being able to see stardom or greatness or opportunity when nobody else can see it, all right? It enables you to see a failure as a stepping stone rather than an endpoint. So, oh boy, oh boy, this one right here, that ability to adapt makes it where you can see failure as a stepping stone to success rather than an endpoint. You can see, I'm getting a little winded with this because I'm dealing and learning and mastering all of this stuff right now. But it gives you the ability to see greatness in things where anybody and everybody else will see it as an end. They will look at it and feel like the whole world came crumbling down. Again, back to this young man, 900 tracks, if he did it 7 days a week, if he did 5 days a week, it's still enough. And he said, you'd be working all through the night. And he said, no, I woke up in the morning, like doing a job. 9 o'clock, I go to work, I take a lunch break, I make sure my 5 tracks are finished, and I sent them off. Well, that's a lot of failures to get this one success. Boy, let me say this. I'm going to go full screen and say this. It's so fun for us to look at Not Like Us and see the success of it as if it was some random thing. But this was a thing that he set forth to do. I don't even think Kendrick expected it to be this big. He said he didn't for sure. But he set forth just to do, and I just want to say this for the record. Around that time, Kendrick dropped like 5 diss records back to back on Drake. But that one is the one. Here's my point. What do you see? What do you see that you can say 900, let's say it's 800, let's say it's 600. Let's drop 300 off of that. Let's say it's 600 tracks that he sent. In every one of those tracks before that would be considered a failure if they rejected it. And he had to continue to say, then I'll just use that to say, process of elimination, that's not the track that was for him. Let me just send another one. It gets big right there when you look at it like that. is an opportunity for me to do it again. Let me see if my people are on here and want to say anything about this. Welcome back, Miss Edwidge, and welcome back, Miss Nellie. So, the opportunity to succeed with every failure, or what seems to be a failure, a stepping stone, then looking at it as the end of the rainbow or the end of the situation. This is big. Talk to me. Let me see if my Edwidge has her audio back and everything. You have your audio?
Yeah. Mustard had to see the vision. Um, and it had to be some. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. He had to see the vision, and it had to be something that was in his deep down in his spirit and his soul. Mustard had to see the vision. Let me turn this down because I'm hearing feedback.
There's an echo. It's the
But
delay. Yeah.
it it was unshakable, and I believe when we get to that point, that's how we're gonna get that success. When you have that knowing, you have that laser focus, and you just know that it's yours. He said he knew already that it was gonna be big. Maybe even Kendrick didn't know, like you said, but he said he just had that feeling. He knew, so he locked in. So he had a revelation.
You
He
did.
had like this understanding, like this is gonna be it, and I gotta lock in right here. And when you have that, yeah, you're sure to win because you can see what other people can't see.
I like that. That right there. I like
Yeah.
that. Yes, Miss Michelle. No, I'm not hearing you. Let me see if I can do something with your mic. Are you muted or anything on here? We got your picture back. Now we don't have got to get your audio back.
No, we can't hear Edwidge.
No, we can't. We try that. Try again, Edwidge. Nope, still not back. Okay, well, we just have to look at you. Um, so, no, Nelly, everything you said is powerful, and it's huge. You're not muted on my end, Edward, so I don't know.
Yeah,
And hold on,
I was gonna add one more thing
go ahead, add it.
that stuck out to me. Wait, can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Um, with the word adaptability, and I know also in the question it was like asking yourself, which one are you? Are you the one that adapts? Or are you the one that's innovative? And I know, Mr. Brown, you told me, like for me, to adapt, you can maintain in that situation. Um, but with the innovative, is like bringing like a disruption, like I said in the notes, that change. And I remember you told me like when you're going, it is for me to go higher. I can't just adapt and maintain where I am. I have to be innovative so that I can soar. You gave me that illustration,
You're mixing
Mr.
up the
Brown,
words a
and
little bit,
it's
right?
been in my vision. And if I'm not the one that can soar, I'm not gonna win because I just level off and I maintain this level that I'm on. But I have to keep climbing and keep climbing. But in order for him to do what he did with the tracks, he had to be innovative and keep changing it to soar each time to get that winning sound.
Yeah.
So it was change and all of that. So
Can you
I
hear
just
me?
wanted to add that because you told me that when we had our talk, and it stuck with me. I don't want to just adapt anymore. I want to be innovative. Like you said, we need both of them together.
Am I on? Can you hear me? so can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, yeah, the whole system just kind of shut down for a minute, but it came back. But you're right now. You said you can't just adapt and maintain. I know what you meant. No, you have to adapt to grow. Um, but learning to a degree and then sticking with that flow and not innovating and growing to the next level, not being able to pivot and modulate, you may learn how to keep a steady roof over your head, but you won't be able to hit the next levels. Okay, I see my control is back up here. And which it looks like is muted from your end. Okay, still not coming through, huh? All right, well we're gonna have to work with what we got because we don't have nothing else. You have the clip on right now. That attached to your phone is not attached? We got to work with that. Okay, so let's bring it home for the family. And how's the family doing tonight? How are we doing?
They're doing good. Lindsay said, I also think that it's important to know what you're going for and really defining that so things won't distract from the ability to be consistent. That's good.
Read that again.
Yes. Okay, she said, I also think that it's important to know what you're going for and really define that so that things won't distract you from the ability to be consistent.
Yeah, I see where she's going, and that makes sense. That makes sense. But again, adaptability is not losing the ability to pivot in that process and to make the adjustments necessary to get to the finish line. That's very, very big. So I want to make sure we keep that as a point, right? That's the main point of adaptability in that scenario. But let's bring it home with the time we have left. The final step in adaptability that we're going to cover tonight is developing a strong problem solving mindset. And I want you to really, really look at this for a minute. Um, a problem solving mindset is, how would I phrase this in a simpler term? And I want to be very careful about this because everybody doesn't have a problem solving mind. A lot of people have a problem detecting mind, but not a problem solving mind. They can look at everything that is a problem and they can tell you why it's a problem and they can tell you why it's not working and they can tell you why it's hard and they can tell you everything but how to win or how to fix it. So let's just talk about this real quick. A problem solving mindset is the same as the one before it. You see failure as stepping stones to success rather than an endpoint. The problem solving mind is very similar. What the problem solving mind does, it says, okay, this is a failure or a setback or a blockage or whatever. And how now do I take this and can I take this and use it to my benefit to go forward? Are there other options other than the door that I got stuck on right now? How do I make this work for me in the long term of what I'm doing and what my goals are? This is huge because if you've ever had a, a home or you've heard people talk, they say whenever they go into a construction project, whenever they go into that situation where they're trying to fix their house or have contractors come in, it never seems to wind up being the amount of money they said, and they never wind up finishing the time that they said. Well, some of that is on purpose for them so they can stretch you out for more money. But the bottom line is circumstances and things in life just don't always go the way you want. Hey, well, if I can just order, 10 pounds of this and 5 pounds of gravel, and then you go to the store and we're all out of gravel, or the price of gravel went up, or sheetrock just went through the roof. These things change the outcome of your situation, but not necessarily permanently, but momentarily. You then have to look for another way and another option to make that happen. And I'm gonna say this to people, and you may struggle with this a little bit, but everybody has a problem solving ability. It's just you don't trust it. You don't have a lot of times a confidence and faith in yourself that you can accomplish what you set out to do, regardless of what has come against you. And that's where the problem arises. And this is what I want you to think about. You have the ability to solve every problem put in front of you. You have the ability through prayer, through sitting down and being still long enough to figure it out, to asking a bunch of people questions. And here's the fun part, right? To just literally just going on YouTube and watching a couple of videos. There's always an avenue and an opportunity to fix things and make things better than what it is. That always exists. The question is, are you patient enough and committed enough and determined enough to not be knocked off track and set back by these moments that you can go forward and achieve what you're supposed to achieve? Nobody's going to stop me at this point but me. And so I had to make a decision that this run, this season, this time of my life, that this is what I was doing and this is what I'm going to do, and nobody's going to stop me. And nothing is going to stop me. And I want to understand your mindset right now and in this season in time when it comes to that. So I'm going to give the floor to you, Nelly, to talk about that a little bit while I go ahead and try to bring Edwards back in and bring Alton back in so we can close. Okay?
Yes, making that decision that nothing is going to stop me, no matter what, is something that you just have to sit down. I will tell you now, we know scripturally by our faith we say write the vision and make it plain, write down your vision. So if we're here in this conversation today and you haven't taken the time to clearly write down what it is you're even believing for, you want to start there. Once you write it down, that will force you to lock in every morning when you're looking at it, when you're having your quiet time or prayer time or just going over your devotions or whatever you are going to do. You have your goals written down. You could lock in and know what it is. It takes away the hesitation because it's clear. You can see it. And then you could begin to write out steps of how you can get there. Just simple things. I remember I forgot his name right now, but he was like, "How do you become a millionaire? Write it down." He said, "Make a list. Uh, do something every day that's going to help you get towards that goal." And then he says, "You'll be a millionaire." Like, and he says, "Don't stop. Be consistent. You'll be a millionaire." He said, like, it's so simple. Just keep doing it. Do something and then get the next goal. Write it down. Make a list. Make sure you do something every day from that list. Be consistent, and it works. So just that's what I would definitely say that helped me. And I know that I've done it before in other areas, like I was explaining before, and I've seen those manifestations come to pass just the way how it happened. I wrote it down, I prayed about it, I was active about it, I'm learning, I was reading books, trying to become a better person. Um, and the manifestation came to pass. So here I am now putting this towards my purpose and my goal of becoming who God called me to be. So I hope that's very helpful to you.
I think it was very, very powerful. At which I did everything I can to try to get you your audio back on, and I don't even see your audio connection on it. You could try to speak one more time and see if you got anything. Nope, absolutely not. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up for the night, but before we do, just give us your final questions and comments. Nelly, you can read them, and we are never alone. That's right, Amanda.
Yes, Amanda. Yeah, we are never alone. She said, very helpful. Edwidge said, I have the ability to solve every problem in front of me. And I know you are saying that because you are speaking it into the atmosphere, putting it out here so that it comes to pass. So I thank you for saying that, Edwidge. And yeah, so we have for now. Any other comments?
Well, this was real good. Despite the technical difficulties, our lives are getting better and better every week, and getting able to pull all you guys up on the screen. Thank you for the loves. Where's is uh, thank you again for the viewers. Like every week, we're getting more and more viewers, and we love it and appreciating that. Um, how did you apply adaptability and innovation with your business, Mr. Brown? That's okay. First of all, I'm gonna answer that question with the time we have, Devon, and thank you for asking it. Um, we have to first start with a couple of things, right? Because you already know I have more than one business, right? So for me to answer that question to you, I would have to like be more specific about what business are you talking about. But I'll just give you a general answer, all right? Let me just start with Nelly. When I came to Nelly, she came to me with the salon and asked me to invest in the salon. She was doing hair all day, and everybody told me, oh man, she works hard. The place was lined up with customers, going down the block and all this kind of stuff. And then when I started to say, okay, show me the money, there wasn't money to be shown. And then I came to this realization, right? And this is important. I came to the realization that the business and the model of the business had to be changed for it to be lucrative. So the first adaptation I had to do is talk to her about the hairstyle she was doing. Okay, and my mind was, you're doing Brooklyn hairstyles. The style you're doing is going to limit you to the neighborhood you're in. So we're going to change you. We're going to get you out of that. We're going to get you into doing the different things. And I looked up all these different styles and lace fronts and full frontals and this kind of stuff. And I asked her, do you know what these are? And she said, yeah, how do you know? I said, I watched some videos, I did some research, and I learned that this is the hot market now. Why don't you move out of this market to this market? And she made the pivot, and as a result, things changed. Now I'm saying to her, well, you're not going to be able to grow the way you want to grow if you got to stand behind a chair all day. You need to, and we need to come up with a product or a line of products that frees you from being locked behind a seat. Also, all her videos showed her hands, but they never showed her. So that was another pivot. Well, we need to come out of that, and we need to get to the place where you are coming in front of the camera, because the social media thing is real big right now. Now, the benefit of that with me was, she turned around and said, well, you need to get in front of the camera and not be behind the camera, and you need to let people see you speak. So that's a pivot for that. And so I just named about 4 pivots in this one company. With FIA NYC, my staffing company, with Lindsay, we came in and we were trying to do staffing for everybody and everything everywhere. And we had to pivot to say, let's focus on our community. And then the whole DEI thing came up at the time, and George Floyd, and it was shortly around that. And then we were like, okay, we need to move into that. But I came into it understanding this is not going to have a super long run. It's going to be a season. And Lindsay can tell you, almost everybody we spoke to said I was an idiot and that was going to never go away and it's going to be around. I said, no, it's going to change. It may be still around, but it's going to change. And it's going to change drastically as people begin to forget this moment. And sure enough, it did. And this was before Trump even came into office or was even considered to be the next president. I asked her to take my name, take DEI off of my description in my LinkedIn, because I knew that the name and that thing had lost its meaning, and we need to come up with a different name. So we came up with a whole different approach to it, performance management and not diversity, equity, inclusion. And a lot of the same techniques we're teaching, but we had to change it from a single group to a all over. How do we perfect the company from all of its people, right? That's a pivot. As a result, now we're starting to see a ton of work coming again. So my point is, if we had said, "Oh no, we're DEI and that's what we do, and we're never going to change," well, we wouldn't be making any money. So it's not even that we've changed a ton of what we teach, but we changed the way we approach it, how it affects the people we talk to, the things we present to them, that it makes it more pleasing to the ear, and we're staying away from the trigger words like bias and, all those things play a role in you growing and maturing. It's not selling out. It's, well, to me, I have a different saying about selling out. People say selling out is a bad thing. I've never seen a store that keeps selling out everything they have and feels that it's a bad thing. But that's my opinion. But my point is this: you keep creating needs. Does that make sense? You keep creating what your customer needs. And that's how you build your brand. That's how you build your levels. That's how you take things to a place where you can pivot and you can make the adjustments necessary to do what you need to do. I didn't plan to stay that long, but and that's how you build your brand. That's how you build. I hear myself being playing back in the background. I don't know if that's you, Nelly. But the ninja went down again. The ninja has been acting up tonight. The ninja been acting like a ninja. Ninja been acting like a ninja.
Oh, sorry, that's the feedback because we can't hear you.
You couldn't hear me?
Yeah, the ninja went out again.
Yeah, I know. Well, I hope I got. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can.
Did it cut out any of my conversation going to YouTube?
No, not at all.
Then that's all I care about. So we're gonna bring it home, and yeah, Ninja definitely cut out again. Um, but we worked through it. We pushed through it. Devon, did I answer your question? Yes, he said yes, and thank you. Very informative. You're welcome, my brother. Um, we're gonna bring it home. I'm gonna be mindful of your
Yeah.
time. I don't hear you, Nelly.
Amanda.
Yeah,
Okay, so Amanda said, I have my motivation. It started here. Love you all.
yeah, I see that. I'm watching it, and I'm glad I was able to help you, Devon. I love you, little brother. Um, let's take this to the next level. I think that we've got a lot to learn, but we're learning a lot, and we're learning it together. And the beautiful thing about the journey is I'm sharing stuff with you as I'm learning it. Some of the stuff I've been doing, some of it I'm beginning to do, but I'm doing it, and I can tell you that it works, man. It works, 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 works. So let's stay with it. Let's keep growing. Let's keep bettering ourselves. Let's keep increasing our vocabulary and understanding the way things function and roll. This is a powerful season. The year has just begun, and we have the world at our feet. It's our time. Somebody type "it's my time" in the box. Type it, "it's my time." And we're going to continue to speak that out loud and call it into life and call it into being. You guys ready? Let's grow.